Who do you think were your standouts for tonight? I'm curious.
Sorry, the standouts?
Yeah, like who do you think had a who came away the victors from here? Give me like your
I think
top three.
Trump was the biggest winner tonight, honestly.
You really think so?
Listen, the first half of the debate, I think Vivek was strong. And then it started to become clear that he's out of his mind. And Nikki Haley really made him not look so good. And then it seemed the moderator stayed away from him a little bit more. So if it had been an hour debate, I think he would have been the clear winner. It's less clear to me. I had high expectations for Chris Christie. He had a few good moments and some pretty bad ones. And then I think the overperformer, like I think the guy is disgusting and just pathetic. But I think the guy who performed better than I expected was to some degree Mike Pence, as weird as that is.
Okay, I think we probably largely agree. I will say I'm really happy that this Vivek guy is out now because he's just like I can immediately know if I can write off a person's entire opinion about politics if they're like a new Vivek fan because I can already see like all of the old Trump people and all of like the kind of newer like far right people and like ultra populist people gathering around him. So I'm glad that he's on stage now so I can immediately identify the craziest people on the conservative side of things.
I
Um,
don't disagree. My stream was like invaded by the Vivek fans, and it was just kind of annoying more than anything.
Yeah, it's even annoying. At first, when I saw him talking, I was like, "Oh wow, it's like the Andrew Yang of the right." But I don't think Andrew Yang is anywhere near as insane or horrible as this guy is.
A
Oh my
hundred
goodness,
percent.
Jesus.
There's like a tech entrepreneur element that
Yeah,
links him to Yang, but ideologically, I mean, this guy seems nuts to me.
yeah, well, yeah. He's like he is like. Remember how a few years ago we were all like, "I wonder what politics is going to look like after Trump." People like
Yeah.
Vivek are the next generation. The younger, the I
Right.
want to abolish every part of the government. I want a revolution, not an incremental improvement. I want to all foreign policy needs to be off the table. We need to redo it like that. He's like that next stage of populist like people on the right. I think.
And it's
Um,
crazy that I don't know if you saw the moment where Martha McCallum read like 12 departments and agencies he wanted to eliminate. And with a straight face, he goes, "Yes, that's correct." And people in the crowd cheer.
yeah.
It's such an unserious thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know. It is the populist take, right? Yeah. He also
Yeah.
wants to raise the voting age to like 25, doesn't he, or something?
It's so funny. He wants to be the candidate of the next generation
Uh huh.
and also not let you vote unless you're 25 years old. It's like, but this is just crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Running him down real quick. I guess these are my quick thoughts on everybody. I feel like DeSantis is in his own world. He's writing off his
Completely.
record. Like, I don't think he talked to another person this entire debate. I'm not even sure if he did. Vivek, I agree with you. Very strong first impression. In the beginning, I was like, I think this might be his standout moment. He's going to
Yeah.
come off really strong. And then he just completely just disappeared for the last like hour of that debate. I noticed something that he's good with the slogans like Trump, but he's very bad with like the witty comebacks. Almost every
Yes.
single time he got into a back and forth with Christie, he didn't do well. With Pence, he didn't do well. With Haley, I think he got slaughtered.
Oh, that was the worst moment for him. It seemed like the wind was let out of his sails when
Yeah.
Haley basically schooled him. Yeah.
Oof, yeah. I feel like Pence did decent. He's already like a very well-known candidate, but I don't think he stumbled
Yeah.
at all. I think he sounds like good as he sounds very presidential and everything. I feel like Nikki Haley had a strong showing. I'm going to be honest. I've been in crazy red pill space and everything. I haven't followed politics as much, so I hadn't heard as much about her. But I feel like all of her answers were pretty good, and she came off well. And even on an anti-Trump platform, which she
Yeah.
gave quite a few pretty anti-Trump answers tonight. She seemed to do well with the crowd, and I think she was really strong. Her back and forth with Vivek was really strong too.
He got the least grief from the crowd when she went anti-Trump by
Yes,
far.
yeah.
I mean, at one point it seemed like Chris Christie was going to be booed off the stage.
Yeah. Chris Christie, I thought did good, but I can never rate this guy higher than a meeting because he just doesn't look like a Republican to me. He feels like a Democrat just in the way that he
Yeah.
talks. I feel like he's just there to like torpedo candidates like he did with Rubio and stuff. I feel like that's all he exists for.
You know, I think that if you said to me one of those 8 people will be the next president, I would pick Chris Christie every single time. I don't think he has any serious shot, but I do hope that at some point in this whole process, he single-handedly destroys another candidate's chances to the point where they have to drop out the next day again. I would love to see that.
Yeah. For the last three, Tim Scott, is it Asa or Asa or Asa
Asa
Hutchinson?
Hutchinson,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then Doug Burgum. I feel like Nothing against any of these guys. Well, against all of them because they're all Republicans. But like, I feel like they just needed to do more to set themselves apart. I feel like all three of them are very forgettable.
There's this self-fulfilling prophecy where if you're not polling as well, you don't get to talk as much, which makes it impossible to gain support, you know?
Yeah, but then also you have to do more when you're on stage to set yourself apart from other people. Like when you get on and just kind of give like the standard conservative talking points, and you're already like not that well known, you know. I think Vivek had a good strategy of like everyone here is bought and paid for. I'm the only non-super PAC candidate, right? Setting himself apart. Yeah.
If I were a 1%er, like if I just barely made it in, like Hutchinson or Burgum, I would like try to workshop something a little wacky to do to try to at least generate some attention. I'm not saying wacky like dressing a certain way, but maybe like something like Vivek, like going up there and going, listen, these people are so afraid of me, they're not even going to give me a chance to talk. Just watch. I challenge you. Count talk time. And it's like, of course, you're not going to get as much time, but you're creating a story that might be interesting and maybe will make it into the news cycle.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like my favorite moment from the entire debate was the... It was the when they asked to raise your hand, I think, if you would support Trump if he got nominated. And the right half of the room instantly, I think, did it. And then like the people on the left half were like waiting for the responses, and then I think very slowly, I think it was DeSantis, Christie, and I think Pence raised his hand, but I couldn't tell if they were like doing a thing or not. That was really funny. They didn't make that big a deal of it.
I missed that moment because we were using the FoxNews.com stream, and the commercials went 20 or 30 seconds too long and overlapped with the debate, so I literally missed what you're describing.
Oh. It was really funny, yeah, because they were like, who would support him? And the left half of the room all raised their hand, or the right stage left, right hand did. And then on the other side, they were kind of waiting for the audience response to get their hands up there. I thought it was really funny. But
what did you think about the ChatGPT moment with Christie?
I thought it was funny. I always get really scared when I watch people, because everybody on that stage has got to have like horror moments of like the Rubio moment when Chris Christie just like single-handedly kamikazed him off the stage, and I feel like he's always loading up fun. Like for the it was a funny comment. Yeah, what's a skinny guy with an eyelash name doing it? The last guy that did was Barack Obama. It was like, true, yeah, and then the ChatGPT comment.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it really wasn't bad.
Christie's really good with those.
Where are you on like? Is this good or bad for Trump with Trump absent?
Man, I just never know. Conservatives are insane, man. I don't know. I feel like, and I keep saying this, and I think I'll be right, but I could be wrong. But I feel like all the indictments, all the drama, all this nonsense it's weighing on conservatives. And I think that if a new person can like blossom out of these debates, like a Vivek, I think people will jump ship because it's just so much. It's so much with Trump.
I think there's two sides. One side is Republicans saw what it's like to have a conversation among Republicans with no Trump present, and they might like it, and they might go, hey, we could like go back to this if we just don't vote for the guy. So I think that's potentially dangerous for Trump. On the other hand, no one did so well, and the crowd was a pretty heavily pro-Trump crowd as well, that this might just reinforce the idea that like, we're not really that excited by the other options. We're going to stick with Trump.
Yeah, potentially. We'll see. I feel like every new Trump indictment is strengthening his fervor with his most stringent supporters, or the ones that are most loyal. But I feel like it's trimming off more and more from the outside. So as these debates keep happening and we get more standout performances from people, and maybe I'm sorry, I guess I haven't been following politics for as long, but like, has it always been the case that these debates have like 10 people on stage? Have we ever had...
At the beginning, it's pretty common, yeah. At the beginning, it's pretty common because the requirements to get in are so low.
Okay, yeah. I feel like, especially once we get down to like 4 or 5 and we start trimming some of the Scotts, Hutchinsons, and the Burgums. No offense to those guys, but yeah, maybe seeing these guys go deeper into the debates will be interesting, yeah. Also, I feel like DeSantis's fan base... I feel like that is a fan base that's up for grabs because he's very popular, because he's got all the recognition from everything from Florida for the past few years. But oh man, I was really big on the like, I think DeSantis can do it. I think he actually has the capacity to take out Trump and blah, blah, blah. I changed my mind, I think a few months ago. It was the first time I saw him walk into a restaurant and start talking to voters. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, it's not him. It will never be him. Literally, no matter what, the answer will never be Ron DeSantis. Oh my God.
No, those are. It's like I enjoy how Party's failing, and it's still a little bit painful to see him like interact with people.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right. Bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.